Most people do not collapse from exhaustion overnight. The body whispers first. It adjusts, compensates, absorbs the pressure of modern life in silence. And then one day, the whispers become symptoms. The hidden truth is this: long before disease appears on a scan or in a lab report, the body sends signals that it is overwhelmed. Subtle changes in energy, digestion, mood, sleep, and focus are not random inconveniences. They are biological alarms. If you ignore them long enough, the cost compounds. The first sign your body is begging you to slow down is persistent fatigue that sleep does not fix. This is not the normal tiredness after a productive day. It is a deeper exhaustion that lingers even after a full night in bed. Underneath that fatigue, metabolic systems are often under strain. When stress hormones like cortisol remain elevated for too long, they disrupt insulin sensitivity, making it harder for cells to use glucose efficiently. Energy becomes unstable. Blood sugar rises and falls unpredictably. Cells that should be fueled become sluggish. Over time, this pattern increases the risk of metabolic dysfunction and cardiovascular strain. Fatigue in this context is not weakness, it is chemistry. The second sign is disrupted sleep. Difficulty falling asleep, waking frequently, or rising unrefreshed are more than inconveniences. Sleep is when growth hormone is released, tissues repair, and the brain clears metabolic waste through a system known as the glymphatic pathway. Chronic sleep restriction alters hunger hormones, increasing ghrelin and lowering leptin, which drives cravings and overeating. It elevates blood pressure and impairs immune coordination. When sleep is fragmented for weeks or months, inflammation quietly increases. Arteries stiffen slightly, reaction times slow, mood becomes less stable. The body is asking for rhythm, darkness, and recovery. The third sign hides in the gut. Bloating, irregular bowel movements, or frequent digestive discomfort often reflect imbalance in the gut microbiome. The trillions of microbes in the digestive tract influence immune signaling, vitamin production, and even neurotransmitter synthesis. Under chronic stress, blood flow shifts away from digestion toward muscles and the brain's threat detection systems. Stomach acid, motility, and enzyme release can become inconsistent. Research suggests that prolonged stress can alter microbial diversity, potentially affecting inflammation and metabolic regulation. When digestion becomes unreliable, it is not just about food. It is about the nervous system being locked in overdrive. The fourth sign is increased irritability or brain fog. The brain is deeply connected to metabolic and hormonal health. Stable blood sugar supports consistent neurotransmitter production. Chronic stress, however, reshapes neural pathways. Elevated cortisol over time can impair memory formation in the hippocampus and heighten reactivity in the amygdala. Concentration slips. Small frustrations feel magnified. Decision-making becomes harder. This is not a personality flaw. It is the neurological cost of sustained overload. The fifth sign is frequent illness or slow recovery. The immune system requires energy, sleep, and micronutrients to function effectively. When the body is constantly prioritizing stress responses, immune defenses may weaken. Inflammatory markers can rise, not necessarily causing immediate disease, but creating an environment where tissues are under constant low-grade irritation. Chronic inflammation is linked in research to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, certain cancers, and neurodegenerative conditions. A cold that lingers longer than usual, or recurring minor infections, may reflect a system stretched thin. The sixth sign is unexplained weight changes, particularly increased abdominal fat. Cortisol influences fat distribution, encouraging storage around vital organs when stress is prolonged. Combined with reduced insulin sensitivity and sleep disruption, this creates a metabolic environment that favors energy storage over energy use. Muscle mass may decline if physical activity decreases, further slowing metabolic rate. This is not simply about appearance. Visceral fat is metabolically active tissue, associated with higher cardiovascular and metabolic risk. The seventh sign is loss of motivation for movement. Exercise is one of the most powerful regulators of metabolic health, insulin sensitivity, cardiovascular function, and brain chemistry. Yet when stress is unrelenting, even the idea of movement can feel exhausting. Ironically, moderate physical activity helps regulate cortisol, improve mitochondrial efficiency, and stimulate anti-inflammatory pathways. The body adapts to regular movement by strengthening the heart, expanding capillary networks, and improving oxygen delivery. When activity disappears, these adaptations gradually reverse. These 7 signs are interconnected. Poor sleep worsens insulin resistance. Insulin instability affects mood and energy. Stress alters digestion. Gut imbalance influences immune signaling. Inflammation affects brain clarity. The body is an integrated system, not isolated parts. Slowing down does not mean abandoning ambition or productivity. It means restoring biological alignment. Consistent sleep schedules recalibrate circadian rhythms. Whole foods rich in fiber support microbial diversity and stabilize blood sugar. Resistance training preserves muscle mass and metabolic flexibility. Regular aerobic activity enhances vascular elasticity and brain-derived neurotrophic factors that support cognitive resilience. Mindful stress management lowers baseline cortisol, allowing reproductive hormones, thyroid function, and immune coordination to normalize. Small daily habits compound. A 30-minute walk improves insulin sensitivity for hours. One night of quality sleep enhances emotional regulation the next day. A fiber-rich meal feeds microbes that produce short-chain fatty acids linked to reduced inflammation. These changes are not dramatic. They are cumulative. True longevity is not defined only by years lived, but by the integrity of cells, the flexibility of arteries, the stability of mood, and the clarity of thought. The body rarely fails without warning. It signals through fatigue, sleep disruption, digestive changes, mood shifts, immune weakness, weight fluctuations, and declining motivation. Each signal is an invitation to recalibrate before damage becomes disease. Health is not built in extreme bursts of discipline. It is constructed quietly, through rhythms that respect biology. When the body asks for rest, nourishment, movement, and balance, it is not limiting potential. It is protecting it.